Some days you wake up feeling very fine until you opened your phone, until you saw someone your age buying a house, launching a startup, getting promoted, living the life you thought you'd have by now. And suddenly, without anything in your life actually getting worse, you felt smaller, heavier, and behind. This isn't jealousy. It's something far more dangerous, because what you're feeling at that moment isn't inspiration. It's a psychological trap that quietly kills motivation, rewires ambition, and convinces successful people they're losing at a race that doesn't even exist. And the worst part is, the more you watch others win, the more likely you are to fail. Welcome to the comparison trap, the invisible force that turns other people's wins into your losses, that turns their highlight reel into evidence of your failure. This isn't about jealousy, it's deeper than that. It's about a psychological mechanism that's hijacking your ambition and convincing you that everyone else is winning a race you didn't know you were losing. Let me introduce you to Michael, 28, software engineer, doing well. Good job, healthy savings, learning new skills. But Michael doesn't feel successful. He feels behind. Why? Because of what he sees. His college roommate sold his company for millions. His LinkedIn feed is full of promotions, awards, funding rounds. His Instagram shows friends traveling to Bali, buying Teslas, getting engaged in Paris. And Michael? He's making steady progress on his goals. But steady progress is invisible. It doesn't photograph well. It doesn't get likes. So every time he sees someone else's achievement, his brain doesn't think, good for them. It thinks, why not me? Every success story becomes evidence that he's behind, falling short, not enough. This is the comparison trap. You're not seeing reality. You're seeing a curated highlight reel. That friend who bought a house, she's stressed about the mortgage and the roof needs replacing. That startup founder celebrating funding, he's barely sleeping and his relationship is falling apart. That couple in Bali, they're fighting about money and questioning everything. But you don't see that part. You see the victory photo, the announcement, the moment. And your brain compares their highlight to your daily reality. That's not fair comparison. That's self-sabotage. Here's what happens with how your brain works. You experience your life in real time, every struggle, every doubt, every unsexy moment of progress. But you see other people's lives in time-lapse, just the milestones, just the wins. So naturally, it looks like they're moving faster, achieving more, winning easier. They're not. You're just seeing the edited version. But your brain doesn't know that. It sees them advancing, you staying still, even when you're both making identical progress. And here's where it gets dangerous. In theory, seeing others succeed should motivate you. If they can do it, I can too. But that's not what happens. Psychologist Leon Festinger studied this. When you compare yourself to people who seem far ahead, you don't get motivated, you get demoralized. Your brain calculates the gap, and when that gap feels too large, it doesn't think, better work harder. It thinks, why bother? I'll never catch up anyway. The comparison trap doesn't push you forward. It holds you back. Let me explain why your brain does this. 10,000 years ago, comparison made sense. If your neighbor had more food than you, that mattered. You were in the same place, facing the same challenges. But now, you're comparing yourself to everyone, everywhere, all at once. That friend making 300 grand in San Francisco? Different industry, different cost of living, different life. That influencer with 1 million followers? Different skills, different timing, different definition of success. That couple with the perfect relationship? Different people, different values, different reality behind the scenes. But your ancient brain doesn't know that. It just sees them ahead, you behind. Your brain has a system that constantly monitors your social ranking. When you see someone doing better, your brain releases cortisol, the stress hormone. Not because you're in danger, but because low status used to mean less access to resources and safety. So every scroll becomes a status threat, and you feel anxiety, inadequacy, urgency. Here's a brutal truth. Accomplishing your goals doesn't make you happy for long. You get the promotion, exciting for 2 weeks, then it's just your job. You buy the nice car, thrilling for a month, then it's just transportation. You hit your goal weight, great for a moment, then you're focused on the next goal. But here's where the trap gets worse. You're not just adapting to your achievements, you're comparing them to everyone else's. So even when you succeed, you can't enjoy it because someone else succeeded more, faster, better. The finish line keeps moving. In real life, nobody cares about your achievements as much as you think they do. But online, everyone is performing achievement for validation. So you're caught between feeling invisible in your actual progress and feeling inadequate compared to everyone's performed achievement. You can't win. Let's be specific about what this costs. Michael spent 90 minutes per day on social media. That's 547 full hours per year. 68 full work days. Days that could have been spent learning, building, creating value. But instead, scrolling, comparing, feeling bad. The comparison trap doesn't just make you feel behind, it actually puts you behind. When you're constantly comparing, you stop asking, what do I actually want? You start asking, what should I want based on what they have? You see someone successful in finance, so you think you should pursue finance. You see someone with a popular podcast, so you think you need a podcast. But these aren't your goals, they're borrowed goals, and pursuing someone else's definition of success is a guaranteed path to emptiness. The comparison trap poisons relationships. You can't genuinely celebrate others' wins because their wins feel like your losses. You can't ask for help because that means admitting you're behind. You can't be vulnerable because vulnerability looks like weakness. So your relationships become superficial, competitive. You're not connecting, you're comparing. And here's the darkest cost. The comparison trap makes it impossible to ever feel like enough. There's always someone ahead, always someone doing more, always someone achieving faster. You could become a millionaire and still see billionaires. You could be in great shape and still see people in better shape. The trap isn't that you're not achieving enough. It's that enough becomes impossible. That's not ambition, that's torture. So how do you escape? Not by achieving more. You can't accomplish your way out of this trap. You escape by changing how you define success. For 1 week, track every time you compare yourself to someone. Don't judge it. Don't try to stop it. Just notice it. Who triggers it? When does it happen? You can't change what you can't see. So first, see it. Look at your social media follows, honestly. Who makes you feel good, inspired? And who makes you feel inadequate, behind, less than? Unfollow the second category. No guilt. Your feed isn't reality. It's a selected input stream, and you get to choose what inputs you allow. Michael deleted Instagram for 3 months. His anxiety dropped by half. Not because ignorance is bliss, but because he stopped letting other people's highlights distort his reality. Create your own definition of progress, one that has nothing to do with anyone else. Not make more than my friends, not look successful compared to my peers. Just, what do I want to create? What do I want to learn? What would make my life feel meaningful? Then track only that. Ignore everything else. This is harder than it sounds. Your brain will want external validation, but that's the trap talking. Real fulfillment comes from knowing you're growing toward your definition of success, even if nobody else understands it. Practice celebrating others' success, genuinely, not through gritted teeth, not with secret resentment, actually celebrating. When you can celebrate someone else's win without making it about you, you've broken the trap. Their success is no longer threatening, it's just their success. Your journey isn't delayed, it's just yours. Real success doesn't look like someone else's highlight reel. It looks like you showing up every day, building something that matters to you, even if nobody's watching, even if nobody understands. That's not a trap. That's freedom. Awareness is the first step to change, and awareness begins with seeing the trap.